He'll tell you a bit about himself, I'm sure, but he truly does the social media and the websites for major corporations, big-time corporations. So they're seeking him out, and he is one of the tops in the fields with that. So he absolutely, if you didn't see him, he was our staff meeting, I think in December and January on the videos, or January and February. Good gosh, get on there and follow whatever he's telling you. He'll talk a lot about social media. That's pretty much the way to go. I mean, ask where's Azar? They get tons. They get most of their people from social media. They don't advertise or anything else much because it's all coming in from social media. So very happy to have all these friggin' experts. And Andy gets to go first.
All right. Yeah. Just to warn you real quick, Will and I were talking earlier about ADD. Sometimes I have ADD, so I have to try to stay on.
Sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And I also tend to speak really fast, and then sometimes my Texas accent will come out, so if you can't understand, just raise your hand, I'll go back over.
We'll subtitle the video later.
Yeah, subtitle the video, exactly.
What accent?
Yeah, exactly. You have accents. I speak it correctly. A couple things about this, what I'm going to speak on is you'll need two things for this seminar. One is your smartphone, and one is your cup. Okay, just kidding, don't put up your cup because some of the things I say may feel like you're getting kicked in the nuts. So don't be too upset with some of the things I say. Don't shoot the messenger. Two books I would highly recommend everybody get. One's called Why Size Your Business, and the other one is Jab, 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 Right Hook. Okay. Why Size Your Business is talking about the demographic that you're looking for, which is the Y generation born between 1977 and 1995, and that is the largest purchasing power right now. It used to be the boomers. The boomers have almost been surpassed in purchasing power by the Y generation. My generation, which is X, is kind of just really kind of a lost generation because the most influential is the Y, and their characteristics are very different than the characteristics you see now. You know, everybody says, "Oh, this younger generation, they feel so entitled." Well, when you say that, you have to realize we're the parents of them, so we kind of created them to be that way. So there are some good things we can really learn about whenever we're doing that. The underlying theme is going to be is people don't care what you know until they know how much you care. Okay. The problem is in today's society, everybody's a taker. We're all, businesses are takers, most people are takers, and they're not givers. When we're talking about social media and everybody says, "Oh, I don't want to ever do social media, I don't want to do anything like that," it's all about doing it the correct way. If you're not giving value, you're not going to get value. Okay? One of the examples I'm going to talk about is like yesterday when I was over here filming, Will came up to me and said, "Hey, you're Andy, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I really appreciate your social media." So he gave me value for that. And as a result, to show an object lesson is, I'm going to give Will value now. Okay, so right here, Will. Okay, the jab, 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 right cross.
I want to read that actually.
It's his. Okay, now understand what just happened. He gave me value yesterday. I give him value back. If you don't remember anything else about anything I said today, this is how your social media should be going on. Okay, he shouldn't be asking him, "Okay, man, you need to buy my service, this service, this service, this service." It should be, "What can I give to you? What can I give to you? What can I give to you?" Okay, so I have a lot of stuff to give away, so kind of pay attention. Thanks, Will.
You're the man.
Thank you.
Hey.
Yeah. There's a quick side note. I had that book on my Kindle, and I was like, "Man, this is really nice. Open up. I may change my mind." If you don't have that book, what it does is, that's probably the top social media guy in the world right there, and he will go through there and he'll show examples from Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, what people are doing right, what people are doing wrong, and so that's what I highly recommend if everybody gets. So starting today it's almost too easy to pick on traditional media. Okay, print, radio, newspapers, billboards. They basically, we all know that they're gone the way of the dinosaur pretty much. And I'll give you one story that I told one of my clients one time. This client, he has billboards out of himself, big pictures of his face all over town. Okay? And billboards, I don't know what they are here. They're about in Longview about $2,500 to $8,000 a month for these billboards. Okay. Now, I asked him, "Why did you do that?" He said, "Well, I get so many people to see my billboards." I said, "Okay, let me give you a quick experiment." Next time you're at a stop sign or a red light, look to your right at the car, look to your left in the car. Where are they looking?
Down.
They're looking on their phone. Okay? They're not looking up. They're looking on their phone. So that's where you should be looking. That's where you should be marking it, is on your phone. And even worse than that, as you're driving on the interstate, look to your right, to your left, and they're still looking. You know, so it's not safe out there. So because of that. So the whole thing is we want to go where the eyeballs are. You know, I can't tell you, no futurist can tell you where we're going to be in 7 years. Okay, because there's a thing called Moore's Law, which states that the computer processing power will double every 2 years. And so my goal is to try to look at 24 months down the road. Okay, so and to see where eyeballs are going. Everybody says, well, how should I run my Twitter account? How should I run my Facebook account? How should I run Instagram? My goal is to where, what are people thinking? What are they doing? How are their trends? Right now, people hate their time wasted. If it's a nanosecond, I hate it. I hate swiping on my phone. You know, I like to have the icons I want on my home screen. The ones I use are right there on my home screen. So we want to keep that in mind whenever we're dealing with people, is to save them time and what they're doing. One of the, is that me?
Might be.
Nope. So one of the things we want to do is to figure out how do we save them time. But I want to look at what are people doing now and where are they going to be going in the future. One of the things about the generation now is that whenever you're talking to them and giving them value, is they don't. You talk about your kids. Whenever you're on your site or whenever they're looking at your stuff, they look at videos first. People don't read nowadays. Okay. The second thing they look at pictures. So we want to put a lot of pictures on our stuff. And the third thing they do is, if they do read, it's bullet points. They don't read text. Okay. So if you have your site, your Facebook post, wherever it is, if you're putting text out there, it's going away. No one's going to see that text at all. You want to put pictures out there, you can look at your graphs on what your graphs are doing as far as your pictures, and it would be unbelievable compared to what your general text are. When we're on CHL site, we have roughly 6,000 likes on the CHL site and 150 to 250,000 reach within a 50-mile radius there. And whenever we put a picture on there, we'll get tremendous views. Whenever we put just text, we won't get anything. And so that's kind of, you want to keep that in mind whenever you're doing that. So, you know, one of the things that we always do is try to be a news source. So how do we give value? Okay, so some of you are doing some of the things in here, and you're doing community pages, and some of you are doing the other stuff, and there's just things like that. I wanted to ask Asia something real quick, is that this guy hated social media. Hated it. And so, and by show of hands, how many people never thought they'd have a Facebook account?
I know Mark's one of those.
Never thought they'd have a Twitter account, okay? Never think they'd have Instagram or Snapchat. You know, me and one were talking about what's Snap. You know, Snapchat. If you're a parent, you better know what Snapchat is. Just that's all I'll say about it. You better know what Snapchat is because of that. But Alex, I'll get him stop for a second about the.
We know in our we have a Facebook for the concealed handgun. That was our big taker because it kicked off really strong. And then we kind of modeled. I started modeling the Krav Maga and our basic martial art facility after that. And even my personal Facebook, you can look at the posts. I don't rarely ever do that, but we have to manage this other one. And like Andy said, we've become, I was talking to Faith yesterday about like a news source. A good example, on my concealed handgun this week, we try to create a lot of news and give information that's interesting to students. So one thing I did this week was we put out there, hey, help our new shooters. What's the best caliber that you like to carry from concealed carry? Well, everybody wants to give their opinion. Man, you got guys, 45 ACP, and I got the FBI put on a freaking, he put a blog, well, this is our ballistic study, but it created all these comments that made that one little area news source, and everybody wanted to get on there. Or something real simple, you could say, hey, 45 ACP, 9mm is what I carry every day. But we do little things like that throughout the month, over and over. We don't over spam it, and he'll talk about that. And then at the end of the month, I'll put out a schedule and go, guys, our next class, $100 a month, we've got 12 spots available, and my phone will go haywire. My staff goes, are you running an ad? Because we have two ways they can get hold of us, through social or they'll call it. He knows that I'm real good about it. No matter what I do, I'll put my phone number in it, and if I do put a text, it'll be 3 or 4 times, I'll put my phone number down. And we'll literally turn a switch at our facility and get our phone ringing. And we do that because I've done it, I tested that out first with my phone. I used to have everything come to my phone, and my facility phone was separate. I just kind of a Neanderthal way to do it. I wanted to see if this Facebook was working, and my freaking phone got so busy. I had to be around and just ring and ring and ring all day long. I'm like, wow, I gotta get that phone number off there. We would have, I mean, last night I got a text at freaking 1:30 in the morning for a CHL new customer signed up, you know, $100. And I thought it was somebody texting me, I'm like, it's a CHL person. You know, and I put it down, because they all still go to my phone through text. But a lot of good information, and I still don't like dealing with it. I mean, on my end of it, it's something we had to step up to. And he'll tell you, he's gonna spank me a minute ago and tell you that we don't still, on my other side, on my crop, we're still having to keep up to do things to get it the right way.
And so, and I'll be kind of picking on some people here. As I said, we're going to be very interactive today. But again, going back to the phone, we want to talk about where people are, and where they are now is on their mobile. Where everything is going is to mobile. So I really want to talk to people who are kind of marketing in 2007, 2008, and this is 2014, and that's how we need to market. And this is where you may feel like you're getting kicked a little bit, so nothing personal. No one kick my ass, please. So I mean, that's all we're talking about. You remember Living Social and Groupon whenever we all couldn't wait to get $40 worth of sushi for $20? Okay, what happened to it now? When I get a Groupon or Living Social into my email, spam, delete, unsubscribe. Because why? Marketers screwed it up. Okay. Everybody started throwing all their promotions into the email clients. And so what happened? Anybody have a Gmail account? Everybody know what Gmail did about 6 months ago? Notice the tabs that happened? A promotion, a social, and a primary. How many people that created a firestorm in the marketing, because now all these people who were used to giving a newsletter or giving an email, it was going to a tab that was going, and I'll be honest, on my tabs now, I very rarely will click to my other tabs. I just look at my primary. Okay, so, and if you want further evidence of that, is you look at what their business models were released last week. Facebook blew the numbers away on Wall Street. And if you look at the graph on their revenue stream for online was flat. Okay, meaning looking at it on the computer was flat. Mobile was an exponential graph up. In fact, 60% of revenue that Facebook brought in was strictly from their mobile platform. Now, what does that mean to you? What that means to you is don't run ads, run Boost. Boost your post. Ads will be online. Boosting the post goes into a news stream. Okay, so we want to go where people are. And so that's what we want to remember is that where are the eyeballs going at? So we have the whole platform where everybody's trying to monetize social. So we have the Living Social, we have the email platforms, we have the opt-in forms. On your websites now, everybody know what a fold is? If I have to scroll down, it's called Under the Fold. When you go to a website, people don't want their time wasted a lot of times nowadays, so they don't like doing this. Okay, just that right there. Yes, sir.
How do you boost a post on Facebook?
Boosting a post is if you have a page, actually an individual can do it now, but if you have a business page on Facebook, on the bottom right hand side, as long as you have over 100 fans on your page, you'll have an option that says boost post, and you can set it for, we were talking as little as $5 to $30 to $300, whatever you want to set it on, and it'll tell you what your reach is going to be for that boost. Now, since people can now boost posts, here's what you got to keep in mind. I'm sorry, did you see it?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yes, yes.
Yes, scroll.
Yeah, it's on everything.
Thanks for wasting our time here.
Yes, it's on every. If you have over 100 likes, it's on every post you do. It'll be in the right hand side. It says boost post, and so that's what you want to do. Now, why boost post versus ads? Because boosting posts will go to mobile.
Now, this is something that you pay for if you want to boost your post?
Yes,
Okay.
you'll pay for that.
You just enter your credit card information?
Yes, you'll enter your credit card information one time, and then whenever you boost that post and tell it what you want it, how much you want to spend, and then it will take and spend that money. I mean, where our boost posts, $30 to $100, $10.
We'll boost that. Just the difference, I would pay somebody a year ago to go out and like little angel to go out and hand out 5,000 flyers. I'd pay a staff member to go out and do all this stuff. We'll sit back and boost a post, And I got buddies of mine that just real tight with their money. I go, and they go, what are you doing? I go, man, we just spent $200 while I'm at the restaurant. I boosted a post yesterday, and the phone goes wild. And you're trying to, my thing with Andy is we're trying to build a snowball like with our CHL site. If you'll spend a little bit of money on a weekly, 100, 200, 300, even could be more than that, whatever you think your advertising is worth in your area, to build this snowball. And then once you get this fan base and you're giving, like he says, giving the news, giving information. We don't spam our readers. We don't put a bunch of ads there, come join them. It's the biggest mistake I see, and Andy will talk about it, is everybody's like, sign up at my place, join this, we're doing a special, 30 days, come in. We don't do that. We're giving you information on random shootings in the area. We even beat our own news source now that's in Longview, that when stuff comes out with all the buddies we have that are cops, this and that though, and so we put out some cool stuff, good information on tactics from top professionals. Like I'm gonna use you guys in here today, man, like a dog, and then we give, and then we ask, once, maybe.
Right, and that's the whole point. Is I see so many people, and I have clients that do the same thing. They'll have me, and I'll build all their stuff out, and they're like, "Where are they at? There's no one coming to my door." I said, "Okay, well, what have we done? You're not doing your campaigns the way we're supposed to be doing our campaigns. You're not doing what we said to do. I see your post, and you 5 times this week you said, we have a special on lights, we have a special on cabinets, we have a special on this, we have a special on this, special on this. I don't care. Think about when you're scrolling on your phone, what makes you stop on your post? Pictures. Okay, pictures. You're gonna stop and look at pictures, or a video, something funny on your video, something relevant that's going on. That's what's gonna make you stop on your phone and to actually look at what's going on. Yes.
Now do you get to pick the area that these posts go to?
Yes,
okay.
you do. And that's where
And gender.
You can target.
and gender, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can target. Well, not only that, there's a link, and I'll actually share it because it's a really cool link I got the other day. There's a link that will tell you if you want to know what Facebook is actually selling to people. You can click on this link, and this website will access your Facebook profile, and it'll give you your demographic, your seller profile. It'll tell you exactly what your most used words are, who you most interact with, what your interest, and everything. Facebook can even say, okay, if I'm marketing, say Harley Davidsons, okay, I know that demographic is probably 38 and up, okay, probably more affluent. So I'll click that they like Harley Davidson's website, that they like traveling, that they like, Leonard Skinner or whatever, And so it will just go, and then that ad will just go to those people. And that's going to go to another point I was making a minute ago, is that Google AdWords. Now, I've done Google AdWords. I've got my Google Analytics, and I always have my Google Analytics on all the pages. But if you look at Google's revenue restatings the last 2 quarters, their AdWord revenue is down 15%. That's from Google. Now, where's that money going to?
Facebook.
It's going to Facebook, or Twitter, or Instagram's now trying to monetize their stuff too. So, because you can so target your demographic, that's why people are going to your social media, because society is narcissistic in general. Okay, what's our favorite subject? Us, yeah, exactly. Even when we have kids, it's still us a little bit, and then we are kids, So that's what we like to do. So that's what we're really excited about. And so knowing that, that's where we're going to start. We share all that stuff on our Facebook. Now, in a minute, we're going to talk about content versus context, about the different sites and everything. But I want to go ahead and grab your smartphones real quick. This is my next giveaway, so we'll see what we're doing.
It's a brand new car.
And Mark has the keys. Once you go
There's
to
a white
Facebook,
Jeep out there, I saw it, it's got USMC
now,
plates.
and also, in all seriousness, this is something that we're gonna have fun with this. But there's a big, powerful principle, and I'll explain it in a minute. Now, if I may ask you what was the significance of this, but that's what we're. Go to your Facebook, find Longview Krav Maga.
Facebook?
Yes. The first person to put, okay, hold on. First person to put a 5-star rating, this Krav Maga rocks.
What's it called?
Longview, Longview,
It's still down though.
Longview Krav Maga.
And done.
You did it? Oh, that's one. We got one more. Longview Krav Maga. No, in your Facebook app.
I'm on it.
With Longview Krav Maga. Inside Facebook, if you don't have a Facebook app, it's facebook.com/Longview Krav Maga, all one word. Go there and rate it 5 stars. Krav Maga rocks. Okay, I think we already have one here. And who was number 2?
I think she got it before.
You got it first, okay.
Right. Soon you gotta be at that row.
Keep going. You got to finish. He's got a car he's in your way. I know this.
Maybe the last person gets
Me.
There you go. The first 2.
Hey, Andy, which one is it? We're looking at Longview Krav Maga, which says add a friend.
It's the one that won't open.
No, it is the page.
It's the
It's the page.
1600.
I'll tell you.
Oh, okay, I don't feel so bad. We got screwed up.
Here you go. Now, let me address this question real quick. They kind of got screwed, okay? Because they pulled up Longview Krav Maga, and it pulled up as a person. Never do that to your business. If you look at that, there's no friends, there's no one, because Facebook can kick you out. The reason we did that is because we have an Instagram account, and it's tied into that Facebook account. So we don't use that account at all. We don't use that as a person. But by doing that, it has us have an Instagram account, and that's tied into the person. Sorry.
You didn't get your stir, but you got a book.
But
There.
Well, I'm willing to give up mine, considering that my staff member also got it. So
Oh, okay.
I'll give it up to Harry.
Okay, here you go, Harry. That's good job.
I also have
Harry.
9 gift cards.
I got a book, you got a card.
There you go. Well, y'all, we're cleaning up on this stuff.
Kentucky.
Now, remind me to talk about that. I'll tell you why you want to do it.
I just like being first. That's
Anybody ever heard the word SEO? Search engine optimization. Anybody ever priced search engine optimization? You know, most that I've talked to, or that I've used it for, is 10 grand. You know, that's just. So let me explain. Search engine optimization is how to ensure that you get up in high ratings of Bing and Google and Yahoo, stuff like that. So they used to. That's a very lucrative business owner. You've probably been called by some sort of SEO person, and they used to start at 10 grand, and they go like Coke and them pay millions a month to try to do this. What we just did was a SEO hack. I mean, we went around all that because Google and Bing changed their algorithm, and basically what that means, the algorithm is how they rank sites. They look at content and they look at reviews now. So whenever you're at your school, have Yelp on your iPad, or have your Google Places pulled up on your iPad, and have a stack of $25 Starbucks cards. And as they review you, they get a card. What that's going to do is, and if you go and search, Yelp is made. Now, don't buy anything on Yelp. I'm not saying they're going to call you up and say, hey, do this. No, I just want people to review me on Yelp. And then I want them to review. That may be 1 month we may run for Yelp. Next month, we want you to review us on our Google Places. Next month, we want you to review us on our Yahoo Place. By doing that, you're going to get better results, or just as good results as you had you paid that 10 grand, 20 grand.
I want to bring an idea also. Say if you, and we're doing this, so if you didn't want to do the $5, you could, if you're teaching a class, at the end of your class, you say, hey guys, everybody gather and get your cell phones like this. He's doing this. And we're going to give away a $20 gift card. Everybody go and do what you did. And so everybody give a 5-star, and we're going to have a drawing. So you might not have to give every single one away. You could do everybody at one time too, though.
Yes, exactly. So these are, and this is why, to a certain degree, why you're seeing Google AdWords going down. One is the social media, and two is they kind of did it themselves when they changed their algorithm. Okay, if anybody ever talks to you about your meta tags have to have these keywords, run the other way. Okay, because Google does not do it that way anymore. Yes.
The review meaning review on Facebook or review on your website?
Review on Yelp, review on your Google Places, review on your any
City
search, the more places you're mentioned, the more you're indexed by meaning saved on their servers on all the major search engines. So the more you're mentioned out there, the better it is.
Thank you.
Did that answer? Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So, but just have fun with it. Have people doing that, and we give stuff away for people to do this. And again, because content's so important now, that's given preeminence in rankings. I used to have people who would say, I still do, you don't lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. But I have a client who, they said, well, we want our domain name, but ETRPC.
Our rifle range.
It's our gun range.
Gotcha.
I said, guys, you shouldn't do that. You should call yourself the East Texas Gun Range, the East Texas Rifle Range. You should not say we're ETRPC. Well, no, one of our guys who's working in Eastman now, he's one of our senior engineers, and he says that's the way we should do it. I said, fine.
Can I comment?
Yes.
We had a big discussion with this guys too. When again, back when we did our crime or even our concealed, I got out of using my own name. So when you see people go, hey, John Jones, it's not a bad thing. But what we wanted to do in our area, instead of calling it Azar's Concealed whatever, or Azar's Firearm, we just put Longview Concealed Handgun Licensing and Training. And what that did automatically in the public persona, it put us as #1 in the public. So when you Google now, if you're in my area, if you Google anything about handgun training or firearms, it pulls our site up first, even above our DPS,
Right.
I mean, we've had, so that's a real neat thing, and automatically the public, because it says Longview Concealed or Tampa Bay's whatever, or North Dallas Crop,
Right, yeah.
the descriptive of what people are looking for, because when we go out and Google, I just go, when I'm here, I go, whatever, I type the title and the area I'm at. So we started using that, whatever area I am, and naming that business. And regardless if you can get the website name, doesn't matter. Tell them about that.
Yeah, you're wanting to have it to where you're descriptive of what you're doing now. You don't want to have it, like we said, you don't want it to be a bunch of letters, because that receives preeminence in rankings now. And that kind of lead into your websites. Now, if your website is text heavy, meaning that again, don't shoot the messenger. If it's like, you're such and such, and you won this, you won that, you got this, you got that. I know guys up in New Jersey who had their websites, and they're with their shirt off, holding a sword, and they're like that. It's like,
I'll tell you a story.
yeah, you know what it is. He also got busted for being a fake SEAL, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah. I'm so excited about that.
And yeah. Anyway, that's the worst you can do. Okay, our whole thing is about giving stuff away. So whenever if you're on your websites now, if you look at our websites, they're simple. Your website has one purpose: give me a lead or sign me someone up. And if they're not going to sign up right now, stay in touch with me. Okay, so if it's not doing those three things, you should probably look at modifying some things. Yes.
So now, what you were saying a second ago, somebody can actually sign up for classes on your website. Now, I know we have it where they can sign up for the intro class on our website, but they can sign up for classes too.
We do an intro class. Well, I can let him explain. We have his set up for an intro class too. We get them leads. We have it set to where they can actually pay if they want to. But
Just for you guys, just the intro. I wouldn't even want the whole program.
Okay.
Right. Not the whole program. No, just the intro. We don't. Okay. And again, that's business specific.
Well, our goal is like anybody else's. If I get them in the door, our staff, like you guys, we take them there. It's a little personal. Yeah, I think if we ever went to that, we could bring 100 people in. We'd probably lose 90 of them if we signed if they did the whole program online. But we do the intros, our main thing, like you guys do.
Okay. Yeah. That's No, we don't do the whole thing. It's just strictly
just the first class.
Just the first class, exactly. And so if you look at the websites now, Wired Magazine 2 years ago, it might be 3 years ago now, came out and said the websites are dead. They're not dead. They just changed their function. They're now distribution points instead of destination points. Okay, people don't go primarily. You can bear this out with analytics. I can show you On all the sites I run, I'll show you. People, it's not a primary destination. You look at referrals, they're coming from Facebook, they're coming from Twitter, they're coming from those places to the Facebook. Okay, or Google is where they'll come to those places. So having said that, now, there's something called bounce rate. Okay, I don't know if you know what bounce rate is. Bounce rate is how long do they stay on your site? Okay, anybody want to guess what the average is?
5 seconds.
10 seconds.
It's actually less than 5 now. Because they do not stay on there. So now, in that time, you've either got to get them to fill something out or retain them some way. Okay, how do we do that? On our sites, you know what we have about Crowd? We have 3 videos. The very bottom, in the footer section, history of Crowd, what is Crowd, and then we talk about the little banner, what the thing is to announce. In the middle, get your free T-shirt with your intro. Follow us on Facebook, here's our feed. Follow us on Twitter, here's our feed. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, here. Now why are we doing that? If they don't sign anything else up, they're more likely to follow us on Facebook. They came to our site for a reason. They may not sign up now, but if we can get them to follow us, we know that we can convert them. More than likely, we have a pretty good conversion rate of getting them into the door. So whether or not they fill out that form saying, hey, I want to come in there and I want to come in there and try a class right then, they'll click on they'll like that Facebook, they'll like the Twitter, or they'll subscribe to the YouTube. And so we keep in contact. Yes?
Do you recommend mobile version, you say?
Most new sites will have it's mobile capable. Yeah. Most of them are responsive to mobile and tablets.
I'm talking about the mobile site that is like a summarized version of your real site.
The majority of the websites that are built now, they recognize the IPs or where the incoming traffic is coming from, and they recognize if it's a phone or a tablet, and they change the format of the website to fit into the mobile site already. So on your whoever your web person is, we'll talk a little later. So there's a little thing you want it to be. It's called responsive. It recognizes that this is a tablet coming in, so I'm going to make it look like a tablet. This is a phone, so it's going to make it look like a phone automatically. It's really...
The way I think of
Yeah.
responsive is it's elastic. Is that
Yeah,
it
that's a good-
stretches and condenses depending on what it's trying to be stretched across the size of the screen. And
Yeah.
it does it automatically now. So it looks basically the same, but instead of being in a smaller screen, it actually changes kind of where some of the stuff goes so that it looks more intuitive to the type of screen
Right.
it's using.
They'll usually they'll usually put the pictures straight down. Your columns will go straight down. Your menus will go up. It makes it look like it's made for phones or for tablets. So that's a good example of an explanation of the elasticity of a website. And most of the current websites are responsive, so they recognize what's coming in because they know most people come on a phone. Apps is another thing. Apps are, everybody ever tried to hire an iOS developer? The iOS, you're usually talking about $2,000 for 2 days work. And that's just a start on a lot of things. There are different things, different ways to do it. We run apps, but we don't run the full. There's little hacks to running your apps too. You can pay monthly subscriptions to some companies. You can have it look like it's your native app and submit it to Google Play and to the iOS, so it looks like it's your app. And so that's kind of another point there. Any questions right now before we go to the next? Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is content versus context. Okay. Used to, and I'm guilty of this, and I'll beat myself up a little bit. Used to, I'd say, okay, for my clients, this is about 2 years ago. Let me run all your stuff over there, and the same thing I put on Facebook was what we put on Twitter. Okay. Don't do that. You got to recognize that's a different context. So the content has to fit the context of its platform. Okay, so an example is Pinterest. Okay, here's what we know about Pinterest. Anybody who knows what Pinterest is? Who's been on Pinterest before? Okay, here's what we know about Pinterest. Between 6 and 8, 87% of people who are on Pinterest have an interest to buy right then, or an interest to buy at some point in the future. So when we create content for Pinterest, it's not going to be what we post on Facebook. It's going to be an infographic. An infographic is it's a picture. You've all seen them, and it may be like say in Krav Maga, someone doing a knee, and then so here's 5 things to take yourself at home. And it's going to say, Long Beach Krav Maga. There's a number of stuff like that. Because we know that those people, it tends to be women who are on Pinterest between 6 and 8. And so when we know that they have an interest to buy, so that's why we will gear our infographics to that group. Twitter, why are people on Twitter? It's 144 characters. Usually Twitter is breaking news, stuff like that, or it's a quick blurb. I can find out what's going on in my world real quick. Yes.
Do you recommend tying the Twitters where every time you tweet it goes directly to the Facebook page, or keep them completely separate?
Separate. I used to not. I mean, and I know everybody's like, "Oh man, come on! Now you're taking my time. You just told me time's important."
Right.
But keep them separate because you remember. And that's a good question because we remember it's context. Before we were focused on content. Now, the Twitter context is not the same thing you're initially doing. Sometimes they will overlap.
Right.
Sometimes my Instagram overlaps with all of them. Okay, so it just depends on the post, but in general, think of this: Facebook is my general social, what's going on in my social world.
Yeah.
Twitter tends to be, anybody use Twitter here? Anybody? You tweet, okay. Well, and then the good thing about Twitter, if you have Twitter followers, they're very loyal.
Yeah.
Twitter is one of the most loyal platforms you can find, is because and there's they used to say because of the demographic of the Twitter users, it tends to be a little different than others, but good, that's a good way. So, but Twitter is very loyal. But so what I put on Twitter is not going to be necessarily what I put on Facebook.
Right.
And now Instagram. How many of you have kids? Well, you're probably young,
Yeah.
But the Instagram Instagram is where it's your chance to put a picture on Instagram and to follow us. Like yesterday, we put on. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say something. Taylor was like, "Man, you're out. My kiddos. He's off the Marines. He's like, hey man, he's going on Instagram." I said, "My kid ain't on Instagram." And sure enough, he comes back to me and Mom like, "Dude, your kid's been posting Instagram for 6 months." I'm like, dang, I didn't even know that, man. I'm like,
that's how our older generation gets on social media.
Well, they're trying to get in there long enough before their mom and dad.
that's true.
You're right. That's right.
And now grandma's on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and yeah, exactly. So that's how people are starting to get introduced to where. How do I get to new platforms? That's why a lot of them are going to Snapchat.
Yeah.
Snapchat is where you can send a picture and delete it. In a nutshell, it's basically you send a picture and delete it as soon as the person opens, or you can set those kind of things.
It's dong pictures.
I'm sorry?
People are sending pictures of their private parts.
Yes, and it's a real big thing among preteens and teens. So that's why you want to kind of watch. If your kids have Snapchat, you kind of should probably get it. We should probably monitor that.
This is why they have parental control now. Exactly.
They do.
You should keep your kids off the Snapchat and ask time.
Yeah, you should. You should. I mean, because those are their primary purchase is sexting right now.
And bullying.
We might have to have a conversation after because a lot of this crap porn.
You
Yeah,
got
that's-
girls.
Oh yeah, we definitely have. Yeah.
Yours are older.
Well, so that's
One that's turning 15.
I know.
but the whole thing, guys talking now about before you came in to hear how many of you ever heard of Snapchat.
I've heard of it.
Our first now everybody, whoa, what's going on with Snapchat now? One asked me a good question last night at dinner is where do I think Facebook's going? Facebook raised so much money they've got to start paying people back. That's why you're seeing not necessarily payment. They've got to have their revenues go up so the stock price goes. But that's why you're seeing more and more ads. But if you look at the younger demographic, they're moving away from Facebook. Now I don't know what it's going to be 24 months from now. Maybe Mark invents a social media site. I don't know. I guess that was a joke.
Yes. Only on Facebook purposes.
But I don't know what it's going to be. But I can tell you, there's probably something. Unless Facebook. That's why Facebook now is in France testing on taking payments, doing a payment platform on PayPal. They just bought Oculus. They just bought WhatsApp, which is phone calls. They're trying to buy
Instagram.
Yeah. They bought Instagram. Exactly. So they see the writing on the wall. They know what's going on. They say, okay, we can have all these new platforms. This is their ad platform. Not before they have to start doing the ads on the other things. So where's it going to in the future? I don't know, but I can tell you one thing: it's going to be more mobile. You know, it's going to be more. If you want to see inefficiency out there, where do I have to waste time? It's going to be anything that solves an inefficiency out there. It's how do we, when we get people in this area, we want to solve their time problems. They don't want to have to come in here and, you know, they want to, you know, get their value right there. So we want to give our value, give as much value as you can when they come into our site, or into our place. So that's kind of where things are going. Facebook is worried about that. Twitter loves it because a lot of people are going over to Twitter but Twitter has its own problem because they just did what was a $2.1 billion IPO last year, so they're eventually going to have to start paying stuff too. While I'm talking about that, don't make anybody mad. Try not to on social media. I love it because that's a great form of business for me because I just do the damage control.
And you get some of those examples of what happened, like the Hertz, or you know, some of those.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Jillian Michaels, the person on Biggest Loser, the trainer, she was going to Maui to a wedding. Hertz, you know, there was some had a reservation. When she got there, they said we're out of cars, and there were no other cars on this island to rent. She has 275,000 followers. She got on there and said, "Hertz, I will never do anything on Hertz again." Hertz had hired their agency to now deal with that. You can't just delete it because it's out there. Once it's online, it's online. I got news for you. Once it's out there, it's out there. I don't care if you delete it. Someone took a picture of it, someone did a screenshot, someone did something, and it's still out there. So it's got to be dealt with. And that's a whole other good side business for me. But it's not, you know, you got to be aware of that. Now, you are going to have competitors come on there and they're going to rate your site over 1 star. It's 1 star. But they can only do it once. Like our CHL site, you know, we have like over 1,000, you know, ratings so far, and 98% of them are 5-star. But you know, we're talking last time. There's 4 1-stars and 2 zeros. Who is that? And you can't find out who it is, but we kind of know who it is. And you'll have that. But as long as you have the overwhelming majority of them are positive, that's what you're going to be wanting. Did you have a question?
Miguel Torres, he got kicked out of Strike Forest because he just posted something really nasty about women on his Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And
He should get fired for it too.
and also like to go back and open his martial arts school in the city. In him in Indiana, they asked him to do like 100 hours community service.
Wow. Yeah. See, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Did anybody know what was it? U.S. Air 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that was
Oh my gosh!
What is the
biggest blender ever.
How in the world did that happen?
Well,
Did
they
you see it?
responded to a
Yep.
post of somebody, hey, sorry that you had, go to this link and you can show where you can put your, you can fill out your complaint. And they basically tweeted a photo of a woman nude with a plane inserted in her special places.
This was the U.S. Air.
This is US
Twitter
Air's
account.
official Twitter account.
Yeah.
Official Twitter account. I'm sorry.
How did that?
Oh, that's what they want to know too. And here's what the social media community say. You know how that happened? Their 21-year-old interns were running their social media. That's how that happened. You know how because they get an attitude like doing that. You know, screw that. You know, well, God, that was not a metaphor, but I mean, that's what happened.
I don't necessarily think they did that on purpose.
I don't know but you know what was the interesting point is that
That's one of those like send all replies.
it was like a send all replies. Oh, did I just tweet that?
They said nobody was fired for it, so it had to have been somebody like up in the ranks.
Yeah.
Get in trouble.
Yeah, but I couldn't believe when I said, my gosh, I mean, that was.
You'd have thought they'd at least blame it on like an intern.
Yeah, I know.
We fired these 3 people.
Yeah, you would think they would. So, but, I mean, and it's unbelievable what that's. I mean, an example, and Mark knows this. I mean, there was, and I was picking on that dog place.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let me give you an example of what can happen. And I did that kind of for this group, just to let you know.
Oh, did you?
No, it really happened. It really happened. But
I'd have been pissed.
So I take my dog to a groomer. Okay, real nice. Just built a $500,000 facility. It's a daycare. They have flat screens. I don't know why my dog needs flat screen TV today. But I want him to have my flat screen TV.
Order a beer there, I think.
You can probably order a beer, exactly. So it's right near where I live. So I took my dog in there. Well, before I did, I called him and said how much to groom my dog because it's summer. And he has a winter coat. He has some mats. It's gonna be. So they said $60. I said okay, no problem. So I bring the dog in, and the lady says it's going to be $75. I said okay, because I was already thinking $100 anyway. I said that's fine. I get home, they come and said, "Sir, we can't do this for under $100." And I didn't mind the $100. I mean, that's not the point. You know, you told me 60 on the phone. I understand why you changed it to 75 when I got there, but then to wait till I drive home and tell me we can't do it for under 100. So I drove back up there. I said, "Manager, listen, no." I said, "Well, you know, that's kind of unethical." And they rolled their eyes because it was a young groom. I said, "That's just how it is."
They messed with the wrong man.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, the social dudes are the evil guys now.
That's what you want to do. That's fine. So
So you are posting 200 negative reviews.
I got my so I got my dog, took him home. Now before I did that, for all fairness, I did comment on the page. I said I went to their page and said, you know, here's my experience, here's what happened. You know, someone talked to me. They banned me from the site. They tried to delete my comment, and no one contacted me. So okay, it's on now. So now, as an individual, I can boost my own post too. So I get on there and take a picture of, put a link to their page. I tag them, and I'll tell you the importance of tagging in a minute. I tag them. I do everything I can. I tell what poor service I would never go there, and all that blah 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 blah. And then I paid $8. Guess how many people saw that? I mean, in our area, 8,000 people saw it for my $8.
Nice.
I did it again for another $8. Not only that, I went to Yelp, Yahoo, Google, Bing, all of it. I posted negative reviews on every single one of them. A week later,
This is funny.
okay, I get a call. Okay, and the lady goes, "Yes, this is such a, I'm the owner." I said, "Well, I don't mind taking stuff down. All I wanted was an apology. That's all I wanted." Or he said, just say, "That's not the way we do it. Sorry about that. We forgive us," and stuff like that. I had a call. She said, "Well, I had to cool down before I called you."
That was dumb.
That's
And
She just gave you more ammunition.
I know. So I was like,
$8 later. $64.
they're all still online. So they're all
Another
still.
news, I just acquired a grooming business.
So those are kind of some of the things that you want to. I mean, yeah.
And you bring that up, that we all have customer service company. I told my staff, I'm like, you gotta make sure we do the right thing, because it's out there, guys. I mean, we gotta make sure.
It is. And now, just let me give you a real quick. You'll want to write this down. If that ever happens to you, there is one response. Apologize 3 times. I'm sorry that happened. Our goal is to always take care of our customers. Please forgive us. Here's $10 off on our stuff, or here's a free groom on us, or whatever it is, or here's a free T-shirt, or whatever we do. You know, whatever business it is. It was chiropractor. Here's a free adjustment. Whatever it is, that's the only response you give, and that's the only one that the Y generation will accept. You know, if someone posts something like that and you come back like that, sorry about that, they're accepting of that. I mean, the Y generation will accept. Okay, that's fine. Yes.
Well, I will actually go a step further. As I was looking for a hotel in Miami last year, and we ended up staying at this, like, it was kind of like a no-tell motel.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was really swanky and nice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the reviews on Google, and obviously you always end up with a bunch of 5-star reviews. I was looking at the negative reviews, but the main thing, the reason why I chose the place was based on the fact that the hotel's response to those negative reviews were amazing. They were just absolutely everything that they needed to do. And I went with that hotel based on their response to negative posts.
I just said like Airbnb. Whenever I ever use Airbnb, I will look at their, if someone make a complaint, how that owner come back. Airbnb, you should look that up and see what that is. That's pretty cool.
It's amazing. $29 a night in just like 10 minutes from here.
Got a whole house? A whole house? Yeah.
No, like a whole side of an apartment.
Yeah. Airbnb. Another one's not here is Uber. Uber,
yeah, we've got that in Dallas.
We have that. Did you have a question?
So that was the apology. The corporate apology is, "I'm sorry."
We're sorry that happened.
Yep.
Mission statement so BS anyway. Let's see right through it. But we always pride. It's word like our pride. We always take pride in how we treat our customers. And then give them something.
Okay.
Okay. Now the number one thing is also, we've got about 7 minutes left, but is Y generation do not trust ads. They do not trust copy. Copy is the content that's written for ads or for television commercials versus scripts. Y generation trusts reviews. Okay, so whether it be your website, whether it be, we kind of touched on this video, you should be hitting people up for reviews all the time. And if something negative happens, that's how you respond. We know how you respond. I think. Do you have a question? I think.
I was going to remember that little, my banker told me about that what happened in the lobby, but now we told me about, hey, you have a parent out there pissed off on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. So he's in his bank, and his banker comes out there. He says, you should really check this out on Facebook. And he says, wow, what's going on? He says, you're mentioned right here, and she didn't do an ad, so that's why it didn't show up in our feed. But she said, talking about, they just want all these prizes.
One of our programs, the parent misunderstood, and so she was asking. She said, "Hey, Facebookers, my son's at Long Beach Martial Arts, and are y'all familiar with?" Brr? She opened up a question, I forgot what it was. Well, the problem was we never saw that. My banker saw it. The lady didn't get a chance to visit with us in our office yet, so we zeroed this lady in. We didn't act like we heard on Facebook, brought her in. And she loves us now, yanked that comment off. But it's almost like we had to police that. Somebody else told me about that. And what the deal was, the mom was out there talking to the viewing area, and they got the wrong message about our program and thought we were going to do this and thought it was $1,000 a month or some kind of ungodly. But that's how it started. And we knew no idea, and that was all going on Facebook. And I'm like, oh. So we're like, well, if I address the mom and I know about Facebook, she's going to think I'm just kind of scamming her in there. So we just brought the mom in and said, hey, let me tell you exactly what we do here. Didn't mention Facebook, and my banker said, man, she took it off Facebook, and now she loves us. But it's amazing what's out there that we don't even know about.
Yeah, and that's you want to kind of make sure what's going on, just keeping track of all this stuff, and giving away. It goes back to the whole thing is, think how you can give more. I know all you guys are great, you have run great schools. How can I give more value to somebody? How can I give them? That should always be on top of, because the whole premise of that book, that jab, jab, jab right across is, if I give, eventually I can, eventually I can land, eventually I can ask. Okay? It's a general rule is, I want to give 6 to 7 informative stuff out there for every one. Hey, sign up. Our CHL, we do one post for whenever 20 that we do for as far as sign up. And how fast do they sign up? I mean, we'll sign, within 2 days, and that's a class of 50 that'll sell out, and that's $100 a piece, something like that. So that's how they'll you spend a little bit of money in the beginning, and when I say, and again, this is always for what a commercial costs you can run 3 months of ads on Facebook, or not ads, of boosting posts. So there's so many things you can do. It's so economical to do it now through the social. Your sites should always have, just real quick recap. When they come to your site, they've got to be able to contact you right then and give them a reason to contact you. Give them something, how to lose weight, whatever, fitness, whatever it is. If you feel this out, you get a t-shirt when you come in to do an intro class. If they don't do that, they've got to at least have 3 points that they can stay in contact with you. Most people are used to hitting like on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and like us on this. So if you'll remember those things, that's what you really got to have. Any questions? Yes?
Really quickly, where are blogs going? And if so, how do you format that?
Blogs are great for content, because remember how I'll tell you what we do with Mark's blog. Those are examples. Okay. Then there's an ethical way to do this. Okay, so say our site, the CMS site, it's a really responsive website for the CRAW side. Everything's social. Everything's contest. But there is a what's CRAW news is what we call it. Okay, and one of the things we'll put in there is whenever Mark does his post, we'll copy that post. Now there's a proper way to do this. Follow the steps. Okay, you copy that post. Paste that post into your blog and put your title in there, put a picture in there, but then you do it. It's like the technical term is like ping back, but every other paragraph, follow Mark here, follow Mark here, follow Mark here. Okay, so that's how you're wanting. Now what that's doing is that's adding more content to your page, and it's adding it's helping you with search engine stats, giving more value. And then it's helping your other people, take advantage of them. I think Brandon writes blogs, so I'm sure there's a lot of people in here we could get amongst blogs, because the biggest thing is where you find content. Because you don't, that does content curation takes a little bit of time. So, but yeah, that's how we handle the blogs.
Okay.
and they're formatted. I'll just put them regularly,
Right.
and then the website takes care of the responsiveness.
And the cool thing for school owners, I don't even know we did that. See, Andy runs my stuff, so I'm like, I didn't know we did that. I mean,
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that. That's,
But okay,
That's
so
why you paid it.
that's exactly right.
any other questions? Yeah, well, one more thing, if we want to give value, one more time, okay? If Mark and Brandon, they did a great job. Let's give them a hand for this week. They gave us value, so we're going to give them value, okay? That one, before you can leave this room, you got to go back to your smartphone, if you can, okay? If you know how to do this. Go to that picture that we took yesterday, tag yourself or tag your school. Okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you why we're doing that. But if you haven't tagged, when you look at the picture, the little thing looks like a little price tag at the bottom. You hit that. The reason we're doing that is because you have to remember that every person, the average number of people have 130 friends on Facebook. So when I tag myself, or we tag, say you tag yourself, potentially 130 people who are not even connected to your school saw that I was tagged in something completely different. And so now they say, whoa, I might like to try Krav Maga. So it creates more attraction, and you'll get more likes that way. So encourage your classes. If you have kids classes, it's great. Have your staff take pictures of them, have them tag themselves. Adult classes, a good hard tough workout. Take pictures of them. Tell, hey, you're going to be online. Tag yourself. Because tagging will pull us across the board.
Are you talking about the photo that you put on the USKMA affiliates?
The one that you took, the one with all the affiliates.
Right, but did
Yes.
you put on the affiliate page? I mean, it's been posted multiple
Not
times.
on the affiliate. Not on the affiliate. Okay, that's
Because it's been posted multiple times. That's why
Yes,
that's-
not on the affiliate, on the
I
United
did-
States, on the public page. Not on the affiliate page, on the public page. And that's where you want to, because the affiliate page doesn't do any good to do that there. We want to do it on the where other people can see it.
Especially because it's secret.
I'm sorry, yeah, exactly. Okay, there you are.
That's us.
Real quick, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Andy, and keep this recording because I want this on the end of this video. Andy does this for a living for major corporations, truly charges jaw-dropping amounts, thousands of dollars. We're glad he's with us. If you want to get with him about your social media, your website, anything, he'll give you a fraction of that price. He'll do it for dirt cheap for us because, I don't know, he loves us for some reason. So absolutely, see him. He will help you with social media, websites.
Yep, running the campaigns, figuring out campaigns.
Figuring out these big words you just use that I don't understand. He'll help you with all that stuff. And if you would stop that recording, because now my